With 5 straight national championships, does the SEC have a right to be the snobbiest group in the bunch? Hey everyone, I'm Citi Sports' Tara Petrolino, and joining me now is college football writer for Sporting News, Matt Hayes, for our weekly First and 10 chat. Matt, the SEC, snobs, rightfully so?
And Tara, let me start out by saying I am a card-carrying member of the SEC Snob Club. However, at some point we all have to sit back and realize, take a breath. Because you hear the people from the SEC rip on Boise State about how Boise State doesn't play anyone, and Boise State doesn't win big enough or doesn't win impressive enough. So Boise State goes out last weekend, has a tough game with Air Force, beats Air Force, but according to the SEC snobs, it's not good enough. However, when Arkansas rolls into that tough place of Ole Miss with that big, bad Rebel squad and goes down 17-0 and has to claw back and win late, that's a gutty win. That shows a team that's on the rise, a team that's strong. It's ridiculous. Come on. Of course Boise State's a good team. Of course Boise State could play in the SEC. Let's move on.
All right, Matt, let's move on. Fuzzy poll math. I was never the best math student, so break this down for me.
Sarah, you're not the only one that wasn't the best math student. There's a lot of guys at the BCS headquarters that aren't the best math students, don't understand the BCS, but they've somehow managed to sell it to the public. And the best part about it is they've also convinced, Joe Sixpack that computer polls, these allegedly computer polls with no bias, are the watchdog of the polls in case the human voters decide that they want to move a team up. It's the computers that can keep everything even. The same computers that Jeff Sagarin, the noted Trekkie, has Stanford number 10. Stanford, which has won 10 straight games by, I think, 18,000 points, which is an NCAA record. And Texas A&M, 2-loss Texas A&M at number 6. In the other corner, however, human voters, we have Scott Wolf of the LA Daily News, who has 3-loss Auburn after a 35-point annihilation against LSU at number 10 in his poll. That's where we are with our fuzzy math.
Matt, computers might not have a say in the fate of Mark Richt. They play Florida this week in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Will this game against Florida seal his fate?
Well, you're not allowed to say that. You know that, right, Tara? You're no longer allowed to say that according to Florida and Georgia and the SEC. It's just called a big game, okay? And I can tell you this, computers do not have a say in it, but numbers do. And right now, Mark Richt is 2-8 against Florida. And that's where it is. If he wins this week, he saves his job. If he loses this week, Georgia will be looking for another coach. This is a guy who has struggled against Georgia's biggest rival. He was 1-2 against noted coaching genius Ron Zook. He's got to win this week.
All right, Matt Hayes, college football writer for Sporting News. Catch his column First and 10. It comes out Tuesdays at 12 noon Eastern on sportingnews.com. Matt, thanks so much.
Thanks, Tara.